Okay. So I'm Carol Versalino, the co-founder of Oak City Labs Software Development Agency. And with me here today is Madison Morgan, the Director of Accounts at Well Refined Marketing Agency. Even though businesses and schools are opening up, the rise of COVID-19 has brought on this new beginning of a new era of digital engagement. Retail, healthcare, and even how you experience a museum has changed forever. And as such, the digital experience businesses offer their customers and their users is more important than ever. Today, we're going to explore how you can use data to modify your user or customer experience strategy to be empathetic, authentic, and trustworthy in this new era. So Madison, thank you for being with me today. Could you start by telling us more about Well Refined and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about all of this. So Well Refined is a marketing agency. We are based out of Raleigh in New York, and we're a team of creatives and strategists that help you solve your marketing challenges so you can think big and act courageously. We like to take all of the marketing strategies in-house and work together to partner with you to take on all of your challenges and help you find the perfect solutions.
And what do you do at Well Refined?
Oh, and I'm the director of accounts. And so I'm over almost all of our clients. I oversee that everyone is well taken care of. And I also help oversee our marketing strategy and just have my hands in a little bit of everything across the board.
Sounds good. So why do you think that the customer experience matters?
Yeah, I think that your customer experience is really what sets you apart from your competitors. It's what allows you to make a relationship with your target audience and keep them coming back to you and not to other competitors in your industry. And so as you build this relationship with your audience, again, you're eventually converting these targeted people from leads into paying customers, and then they'll become your fans and then share it with their friends, increasingly growing your audience over time.
You know, I think that's important because 90% of millennials state that brand authenticity is important. So how can a brand create authenticity online, especially right now with everybody is like all about online presence?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question. So my biggest piece of advice is be who you are. And so that's a little bit funny because it doesn't mean be Carol as Oak City Labs. It's more be Oak City Labs. So create your brand identity, figure out what your tone is, what language what language you use to speak to your audience, and really firm up that brand identity and then stick to it across all platforms so that your audience, no matter where they're meeting you, whether that's social media or your website, that they are having the same experience with your brand across all these platforms. That's going to really, number one, communicate authenticity, but continue growing that relationship that you have with your audience.
Okay, and you mentioned social media and websites, so I imagine we get a lot of data from those things. So why is data important when it comes to driving the user or customer experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So data helps you understand your target audience better. And when used correctly, it helps you further strengthen that relationship we've been talking about with your customers, building even more authenticity and lets you make informed decisions about what marketing direction you want to move towards. It helps you see what's working with what you're doing, what's resonating with your audience, or what's falling flat. And it ultimately should inform all of your marketing decisions and efforts.
So what are some ways businesses can start to gather that data now on their customers?
Yeah. So some of the key big picture ways that are really easy to do this is by surveying your audience, asking them what they want to see, what they want to purchase from you, what's even their demographic information. It helps you speak to them better. Email marketing is really important. So simply customizing your newsletters or welcome emails to have their first name, or if you can tag products of interest by including that in the subject line or within the email, it helps build and strengthen this relationship. And ultimately can also help you create sales and nurture funnels to speak directly to those interests that your target audience has indicated. You can also look at website traffic, seeing what pages are working well and what's not, or even just taking a step back and looking at general monthly analytics across all platforms of where are you seeing the highest interaction and where are you not.
You mentioned a lot of things. You mentioned
Yeah.
email newsletters, you
Mhm.
mentioned website traffic and analytics. So, what are some of your favorite tools and approaches for those things?
Yeah, definitely. So for monthly analytics, I think you can be as simple as a Google spreadsheet that you type in month over month what social media posts are getting the best interaction or what email is getting the best open rates. Or you can go a little bit more complex and use something like HubSpot or Sprout. Those are both a little bit more pricey and, of course, not DIY, so there are pros and cons to both. For surveys, I love just using Google Forms. Again, it's free. You can just use it on your own and figure it out, or you can use paid options like SurveyMonkey. And then my biggest advocate is going to be for ActiveCampaign, which is an email marketing platform that is very robust, but also very simple for users who are just breaking into the industry and has a lot of those um, options that let you personalize your customer experience, like I was talking about.
Okay, great. And so once you have the data you need from all of those different tools, what are 3 or 4 steps someone listening can take with their data to improve the customer or user experience?
Yeah. So this is going to sound really simple, but my 4 steps are read your data and decide where you want to focus and pick one target area to look at. Then collaborate with your team and see how can we strengthen this area? What do we need to do to approach it and just improve our interaction here? Number 3, then create a reasonable plan of action with really tangible next steps. And step 4 would be to revisit the data and start back at number 1 and pick another target area of interest.
Okay, that's great. And how long do you think someone should give themselves for gathering data and then analyzing it? You know, should they just look at that that area of interest for like 1 month or 6 months?
Yeah. So I think checking in monthly is really good. I don't think 1 month of data is enough to make any reasonable decision, but you do want to start looking at those trends month over month. I would say after about 4 to 6 months, you can start making decisions and really choosing what's working well and what's not in a very informed way.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Well, Madison, thank you so much for your time today. And thanks to everyone who's watching our Q&A. And if anyone has any questions or comments for us, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you.
Thank you.